November meeting of the Houghton County Board of Commissioners to order. The Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Jennifer, roll call.
Commissioner Tickman?
Here.
Commissioner Koskela?
Here.
Commissioner Anderson?
Here.
Commissioner Jansen? Here. Commissioner Britz?
Here. We're all here. Approval of the minutes. I'd entertain a motion. So moved.
I'll second.
Moved by Commissioner Anderson, supported by Commissioner Jansen to approve the minutes. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries. Approval of the agenda with any additions.
Mr. Chair, I would ask if we could add an item to new business, if we could begin some preliminary discussions of a new bridge in the canal.
That'll be item 13.
And if there are no other additions, I move that we accept the agenda with the item number 13 addition.
Support. Moved by Commissioner Tickinen, supported by Commissioner Britz for the approval of the agenda with the additions. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries. Public comments. Anybody here to address the board on items on the menu?
Horace Schmidt, I wanted to bring to the board's attention that recent newspaper articles indicate that if the petition to suppress the vote that's being passed around is passed, we would lose our ability to use churches for polling places. So I think it's important that everyone knows that
That
this
isn't
would be
an
extra
agenda item?
expense. Pardon me?
That isn't an agenda item.
Oh, I'm sorry. Have we changed it to
We have another public comment for
agenda
section
items?
later on for items that aren't on the agenda.
Okay, I apologize.
Public comments? Public comments? Hearing none, we'll move on. Approval of the bills. I don't have an amount on them.
$3,769,804.56.
$3,769,000.
804.56.
I'd entertain a motion that we pay the bills.
I move we pay the bills.
I'll support.
Moved by Commissioner Tickinen, supported by Commissioner Johnson, that we pay the bills. $3,764,804.56.
$769,804.56.
That's what I said. I'd entertain a motion.
We have made that motion. We're ready to vote.
Who seconded that?
Me.
Moved by Commissioner Tickinen, supported by Commissioner Johnson to pay the bills. Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Tickman?
Yes.
Commissioner Jansen?
Yes.
Commissioner Koskela?
Yes.
Commissioner Anderson?
Yes.
Commissioner Britz?
Yes. Carries. I have no correspondence. Somebody else have correspondence you want to bring up? Reports, starting with Mr. Tickinen.
Mr. Chair, the Veterans Affairs Board met at the airport last November 10th, and I'm basing this report on the minutes. I was not able to attend the minute or the meeting in person, but notable things that were taken from the minutes is that they are continuing with their walk-in Wednesdays. For those who might not know, the Veterans Affairs office for Houghton County is located up at the airport terminal. And on Wednesdays, you don't need an appointment. If you're a veteran or if you know of a veteran, they're highly encouraged to stop in and see that. Even if you don't have a particular need, it's very worthwhile to stop in and find out about the assistance programs that are available for all of our veterans, extending from all the way from our most recent people from the Afghan wars and all the way back to, believe it or not, we still have people from World War II. And so it's very, very good services available. Those walk-in Wednesdays, you do not need an appointment. Otherwise, you can call the office and schedule a time. They're also received a private donation, and they are trying out a trial period of free transportation for veterans using the Hancock Transit System. And that's on a 6-month basis. We'll see how that works. Also, they are approaching the Houghton City Transit to see if they can set that up. I'm not clear if that's for veterans all over the county or if it's just here, in the cities. But, we are going to be we received the resignation with regret from Veteran Service Officer Mike Bajorn. This will be effective for the end of the year, but we still have our leader there, Sergeant Joe Battisfor, and Mike's replacement is Amy Gregerson, who has been working in the office now for some time and is doing an excellent job. So we really appreciate Joe's service. He's a retired Master Chief Sergeant. Chief Master Sergeant. I can never keep the Air Force straight. All I know is that he barely has enough room on the sleeve for all of the stripes that man had. It's a remarkable service. But at any rate, he was a great help there in the office for his time. They logged in 109 visits in September, which is outstanding. Again, if you know of any veterans, get them up there. They can really, it's remarkable services. Also wanted to report on the transfer station. Effective Monday, we have a new manager, Scott Reed. He has already been logging in some time there, but he'll be full-time starting on Monday. Scott is a real asset. He has tremendous experience in running a transfer station. He retired from waste management. A lot of people know Scott. So there'll be some new faces up there. I think we're still looking for 1 or 2 drivers. So they're encouraged to apply. Recycling, we're still moving forward. In year to date, we've collected about almost 15 tons. And October, we logged in about 2.3 tons of material that was diverted from the landfill and instead was shipped to Marquette to be recycled. So there'll be a lot more news as we go forward with the transfer station. And that's all I have for this month.
Thank you.
Sure.
Commissioner Anderson,
I have nothing.
what did you say?
I have nothing.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Commissioner Jensen,
I also have nothing.
thank you. Commissioner Britz,
I have one item. As far as the jail is concerned, the chairman and I met with, we're meeting monthly now with the sheriff and his staff to determine jail size, to talk about bedding and what the requirements will be and needed. With the new guidelines the state has come through, a lot of people are coming to jail, but very few are staying in jail. They're bonding out quickly, and that's with those guidelines. We're looking at what the new sheriff and we feel that will accommodate the people of Houghton County. Again, we're meeting monthly. We meet next week again for the November meeting. And my other 2 items, Mr. Chairman, are already on the agenda, so we can go forward.
thank you. I have a couple items, but they'll appear as agenda items later on, so I'll reserve my comments until that time. Old business, resolution 21-13. We passed this resolution in a prior meeting, but we didn't use a roll call vote, so we need a roll call vote on that today.
Just for record, it was passed, but we need to have it recorded, correct?
Jennifer,
So we would just need
roll call
an
vote.
official, I guess. Well, if the
Well,
motion carried.
I'll make a motion, we
Okay.
reapprove, resolution number 2113, which is the General Appropriation Act for Houghton County.
I'll support.
Moved by Commissioner Anderson, supported by Commissioner Jansen, so for resolution 2113. Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Anderson?
Yes.
Commissioner Jansen?
Yes.
Commissioner Ticknen?
Yes.
Commissioner Koskela?
Yes.
Commissioner Fritz?
Yes.
New business, Houghton County personnel policy. You have a copy in your packet. I'd entertain a motion that we approve that.
I would make that motion, and I'd like to compliment all the staff who worked on that. I think I read it pretty carefully and thought it was excellent products. I just want to compliment the staff for.
It's been ongoing
updating it.
since about August, I do believe, of this year. And it was a collaborated effort from several different entities. Ben started it. I got on board. We had Becky Yilatello, our new accountant, and Chelsea, our intern from Michigan Tech. It went back and forth between the county's legal team and reviewed and redlined and reviewed again and pushed out. So all eyes were on. So I'm very pleased that it's presented to you tonight.
And I heartily support your Glenn's motion.
Moved by Commissioner Anderson, supported by Commissioner Tickenen, to approve the 2021 Houghton County personnel policy. Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Anderson?
Yes.
Commissioner Ticknen?
Yes.
Commissioner Koskela?
Yes.
Commissioner Jansen?
Yes.
Commissioner Fritz?
Yes.
Carries. Airport lot number 21, parcel B sale. Now bring Dennis to talk about that.
Is he here? Yes, he is. You're on.
Not really much to talk about. Copper Island Academy requested permission to purchase part of the lot behind the water tank. It's 1.4 acres. I believe the selling price was $5,000. The airport committee approved it, and now it needs to go for final approval in front of the board.
This, we understand it would allow for construction or expansion of the school. I think namely a gym
Gym and some classrooms.
and classrooms. And frankly, it is not easily accessed from the road anyway. So it makes sense, they can make greatest use of that. Plus, I do believe this includes an easement.
The easement is separate, but we did approve that.
That is
also.
part of the
committee
transaction,
approved it, yeah.
so.
And again, it doesn't affect the water tank. It's land that's
Right.
really not being used, and we can always use the money.
That's right.
And how much money did you say?
It was $5,000 was the price, and the board approves it.
I'd entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move we approve this sale of the lot to the Copper Island Academy.
Support.
Moved by Commissioner Tickenen, supported by Commissioner Fritz, to approve the sale of lot 21, parcel B. Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Ticknen?
Yes.
Commissioner Fritz?
Yes.
Commissioner Koskela?
Yes.
Commissioner Anderson?
Yes.
Commissioner Jansen?
Yes.
Carries. 2022 Healthcare Renewal.
Well, I'll speak a little bit about this. The healthcare percentages vary by division for calendar year 2022, but overall we had a negative 1.88% decrease from last year. Last year we had a 6.1% increase. So we realized that increase had a decrease this year, so it's relatively marginal, and I'm pretty pleased that we did experience a decrease. With COVID and usage and other things that occurred in our communities, I expected it to be much higher and not realize a decrease.
I'd like to have a proposal.
Do you need a motion, or do you need a motion to approve it? So I'll make that motion then for 2022.
I'll support.
Moved by Commissioner Anderson, supported by Commissioner Jansen, to approve the 2022 Healthcare Renewal. Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Anderson?
Yes.
Commissioner Jansen?
Yes.
Commissioner Tickenen,
Yes.
Commissioner Cosmo,
Yes.
Commissioner Fritz.
Yes.
Carries. Sale of the baler up at the transfer station. Do you have any bids on that?
I did not receive any sealed bids thus far through today.
Well,
Okay, moving on.
keep it out there.
Houghton County Board of Commissioners meeting schedule.
I'll make that motion, that we accept the schedule as proposed for 2022.
I'll support.
Moved by Commissioner Anderson, supported by Commissioner Jansen to approve the 2022 meeting schedule. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries.
I don't appreciate it being on opening day of rifle deer season, but I guess we'll take one for the team.
You were just bragging you didn't go hunting anyhow. Okay, we have two contracts. One for the airport union tentative agreement, and we have one for the county employees.
The tentative agreement for AFS CME, Local 22602. The major changes were, number one, change all applicable dates. Number two were all gender pronouns. Article 28, sick leave. It was an addition to mother-in-law and father-in-law being a part of a close family member, and then the removal of it for 2 days. It was mother and father-in-law were brought up to the 5-day excused absence. The other sections were employees will be allowed up to 6 weeks of parental leave benefit, with only 2 weeks being paid by the employer. Article 29 had bereavement leave. It used to be called funeral leave, and now it's updated to bereavement leave. And once again, the mother and father-in-law portions in that article were updated. And then number 5 was the 3-year term increase in pay. It would be 80 cents for year 1, 60-cent increase per hour for year 2, and a 50 cents increase for year 3.
I'd entertain a motion to approve those contracts.
First, I'd like to really congratulate the union's leadership and the negotiating staff for arriving at this quick resolution. And I will happily make that motion that we adopt the proposed contract agreements.
Moved by Commissioner Ticketing, supported by Commissioner Britz to adopt the union agreements. Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Tickenen,
Yes.
Commissioner Fritz,
Yes.
Commissioner Cosmo,
Yes.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Jansen.
Yes.
Carries. Houghton County Road Commissioners compensation, you have a copy of that in your packet there.
The Road Commission received a directive from the Michigan Department of Treasury, and it states that the County Board of Commissioners must approve and allocate funds for compensation and benefits for Road Commission board members on an annual basis.
I'd entertain a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Full support.
So for 2022 then is what we're making the motion for,
Correct.
for 2022.
Moved by Commissioner Anderson, supported by Commissioner Britz to approve the road commissioners' compensation. Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Fritz,
Yes.
Commissioner Tickenen,
Yes.
Commissioner Cosmo,
Yes.
Commissioner Jansen.
Yes.
Carries. Houghton County Planning Commission appointments. We have 2 current members of that planning commission that wanted to be on there again.
I'll make a motion that we reappoint Horst Schmidt and Tim Sears.
I'll support that.
Motion by Commissioner Jansen, supported by Commissioner Tickenen for the planning commission appointments. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries. ARP funds, purchase of 5 sheriff department patrol cars. Our patrol cars are all very high mileage. And this is one of the things that we can spend that CARES money on. One of the few things, I guess you might say. They got a list of everything you can't do, so. I'd entertain a motion that we purchase them 5 cars.
So moved.
Support.
Moved by Commissioner Anderson, supported by Commissioner Britz, for the purchase of 5 sheriff department patrol cars.
And may note it's through Michigan My Bid. Just,
Yeah.
The state bid system.
Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Britz,
Yes.
Commissioner Ticknen,
Yes.
Commissioner Koskela,
Yes.
Commissioner Jensen.
Yes.
Carries. Equalization Department Township Millage Rate Revision.
Hi,
You're on.
back again. So last month you guys approved the apportionment report. This month we just have 3 kind of revisions to it, specifically with their millage rate requests that affects Chassel Schools, Duncan Township, Osceola Township. Basically, we noted errors on their forms and we're correcting these errors with this report. So if you have specific questions, we're happy to try to answer those or.
Keep talking.
Do you need this adopted, Jacob?
Yeah, so you should have a signed, notarized version in front of you. If you can approve that, I think that's what we need.
I'd entertain a motion that we approve that.
Go ahead, Gretchen.
I'll make a motion that we approve the,
Millage rate revision.
yes, thank you.
As we buy.
And I'll support that.
Moved by Commissioner Johnson, supported by Commissioner Tickenen to approve the township millage rate revision. Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Jensen,
Yes.
Commissioner Ticknen,
Yes.
Commissioner Koskela,
Yes.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Britz.
Yes.
It's an opportunity to embarrass this equalization assistant director that we have here. The public would be amazed at the work that these people do behind the scenes, way up here hidden in the 4th floor. And but nothing would get done in this county without these figures getting cranked out. And we appreciate it. I hope you bring that back to your staff there, Jay.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Laurium Labs Cybersecurity Solution Proposal. We had a guy down here from Laurium Labs a couple of weeks ago and gave us a rundown on what he could do to help us with cybersecurity. And he left me after his first sentence because he was way over my head. But they're quite an outfit. They have people over there that are unbelievable. And I would entertain a motion that we go along with their proposal.
I'll move that we accept their proposal of $3,600.
3360.
Yes.
I'll second that.
And if I may, just in point of discussion, that we have an outstanding IT, Tom Ressler. It's amazing the systems that he has implemented here, and what this will do is provide him with very able assistance as far as for security. There's hardly a day that goes by that you don't hear about a system getting hacked into. There was something that occurred on the national scene just today. I can't recall it. I mean, it's a daily thing, and I believe that we are under assault, just like every other larger institution, and this will help provide greater security, not only for our departments, but also for all of the records that we have on property ownership throughout Houghton County. So I would heartily support that, and that we adopt this.
Okay. Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Ticknen,
Yes.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Koskela,
Yes.
Commissioner Jansen,
Yes.
Commissioner Britz.
Yes.
Carries. Appropriations, we have 3 of them. We can take them all at once because they're all budgeted items.
I'll make that motion.
Support.
Moved by Commissioner Anderson, supported by Commissioner Britz, that we make these appropriations. Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Britz,
Yes.
Commissioner Tickenen,
Yes.
Commissioner Koskow,
Yes,
Commissioner Jensen.
Yes.
carries. Item number 13, about the new bridge, and Tom Tickenen's gonna give you the flavor.
Well, I just, Mr. Chair, I think everyone that pays any scant attention to the Rebuild America initiative and those funds that were approved some weeks back in Washington. Michigan is slated to receive $10 billion. So I think we did reasonably well on that. And I was discussing this with my fellow Commissioner Glenn Anderson and his experience as city manager with this is not an effort or an idea to replace the existing bridge, but as far-fetched as it may sound, can we not engage in meaningful discussion on a single span bridge located somewhere here, crossing the waterway? I mean, off the top of our head, how many people live north of the bridge? Are we, it's half of Houghton County.
At least.
So we're probably flirting with Kevena County, it's close to what, 20,000 souls? Both of our hospitals are north of the bridge. Thank goodness we have the clinics available, south. But in maintenance, to some degree, this is pushed forward from the chaotic stalemates that we have encountered with the work on the bridge this year. We're fortunate on one hand that MDOT is maintaining the bridge, but on the other hand, this is a growing region. We're the only county in the UP that's growing, supposedly, based on the last census. Do we really expect that to change? As far as the number of people moving here? I dare say not. Not with the vibrant economy that we have here, thanks in large measure to Michigan Tech and our high-tech industries and manufacturing that's taking place. We're just about out of real estate up at the airport, and these are great times for Houghton County. I think it behooves us to follow up with help us out here, Glenn. Who do we start with? MDOT? Start with our
I
legislators?
think legislators first, and because they would have to put pressure on MDOT, but there will be, as you said, substantial funds available, both for MDOT and local, road commissions and Act 51 cities and villages around the state of Michigan with that money. So it's a good time to ask.
In the United States, continental United States, is our situation relatively unique?
Last time at least what I remember having the discussion with MDOT is we were one of two community islands in the country, in the continental U.S. that had this kind of population. There was only one other area that had more population on an island than us that only had one bridge. So if that makes sense.
I think it does. And would it behoove us to draft a letter to our legislators to start with, perhaps to MDOT as well?
Yes. Yes, it would. So Elizabeth got to draft a letter. If we make a
Well,
motion.
then I would move that we draft a letter addressed to MDOT and also our state legislators. Who knows, maybe we should include the governor. But, advocating for the construction of an additional bridge spanning the Kevena waterway.
I would second that.
Moved by Commissioner Tickenen, supported by Commissioner Anderson, to start the ball rolling on another bridge. Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Tickenen,
Yes.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Koskow,
Yes,
Commissioner Jensen,
Yes.
Commissioner Britz.
unanimous. Public comments, okay. You're on.
Thank you. As I started to say earlier, these recent news reports have shown that there is the possibility that approximately 20% of the polling places, which are churches, would not be able to offer their premises to local officials. And so we feel as a group, there was 3 of us who are attempting to stop this petition that would basically suppress votes. So, and I think this is another example of where there's some unintended consequences that come from these kinds of decisions to make voting more difficult. When the real problem is that there's nothing wrong at this point with our current system, and fixing it is not a solution, it's a problem. Thank you.
Any other public comments? Now's your chance.
If there's nothing, Richard Dick Storm Twiesku has asked me to read an email to the board. He says, Commissioners, I am very disappointed that you have decided to stop using Zoom to keep citizens appraised of what you are doing. I found it very helpful. It was one of the few good things to come out of the COVID situation. I think it is very important that governmental bodies use every means available to them to help keep citizens informed. In this case, it was with very little inconvenience. Here's hoping you will reverse your decision and again, in quotes, let the sun shine in. God bless Dick Storm Twiesku.
Thank you. Announcements. I got one announcement to make. I'll make it at a later date, and it concerns our commissioner, Mr. Britz. He might be incapacitated for the next meeting, and we might have to change the date. The next item is item N. Anybody want to get in on it?
I'll make that motion.
We are adjourned.
Aye.